Well, let's get to our guest speaker, ladies. This is the last Monday of this month of April, and I'm just sad that it's the last month because this whole month has been great. He's just been going to back office, showing some great videos and showing you how to do things. A lot of people miss stuff in your back office because we don't take the time to do this, and I'm so glad he's here to get us understanding what we need to do. So, without further ado, everybody, can we give a warm Monday, the last Monday in the month of April, a warm welcome to none other than Regional Director, Mr. Curtis Evans.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? We're glad to see you guys again. We are going to conclude the month by going in with some information that's going to help you. I hope you got something to write with. A lot of times you take notes. It just is something about writing it down that it sticks. I don't know if you make yourself write something down, it seems to stick. So if you can do that, it's fine. You notice that Mr. Thomas had his notes from the previous meetings and his notebook or his journal or whatever he uses. And so he was ready to go over the last two. He had them written down. I had to listen to what he said that I said, you know? Yeah. So that was in that kind of crazy. So, yeah. So let's talk about this business and the magic of it. If for those who have never seen momentum in their business, that's what you want. It's a crazy thing. And once you had, now, so, you're going to do onesies and twosies and all that here and there. But I want everybody on this call to let's start thinking about momentum. I'm certainly thinking about momentum. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. In 19 states, we have electricity and gas. Okay. 19 states. All right. And some of you live in those states. There are a lot of people on this call that do not live in those states. And so you may feel yourself a little bit handicapped because you can't get those customers. Now, we know that if you sign somebody up in those states, then those are your customers. But let's say you haven't done that yet. You're looking for momentum. And I'm going to tell you what momentum comes. It came with Mr. Thomas when he was in the business with long distance. Everybody had long distance. Now, some people had long distance. Everybody had long distance. And if you want to get a good whack and you go over to a phone when you were my age and you went up to a phone and you hit one, you press one or you hit one, your mom and daddy will knock you in the next week because long distance back then was $1 and something per minute. And then it started getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. But the key here is just this. Every house in the United States had what? Long distance. Okay. So when we went to sign up customers, they had it. And they would do it as a favor to you. In many cases, their bill was really high because they talked 10 minutes, it was $10. They talked 100 minutes, it was $100. It was expensive. And so the company that he and I worked with, we networked long distance and we got rich networking long distance. And the beauty of it was everybody had it. All right. Now I'm going to talk for a minute. As you get older, some of us have health care. A lot of us have health care. It's a great product. A lot of people do not have health care. And then if you're older, you may not have to pay for it quite the same way because you might have Medicare, Medicaid, or something like that. Okay. But let me tell you something that everybody has. And I want you all to get excited about this. I don't want you to be excited because I said it. I want you to be excited. I want you to be excited for your business that's about to explode because everybody has a car. Just about everybody has a what? A car. So no matter what state you lived in, Mr. Thomas talked about Maria a minute ago from Arizona, and then she said I mentioned I think it was Natasha from Fresno, and we're here in Charleston, South Carolina, and some of you are in Hawaii. But guess what the key denominator is? Everybody has a what? A car. And we're about to get into the what? Car insurance business. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to tell you now, got wealthy because everybody had something. Okay. Now they have a cell phone. We got that. They have internet. We got that. But the volume is what we're looking for. We want the volume. Okay. So yes, we got 4 services, and 4 services is $25 a month for each services on our cell phones. It's great. It's good. It's a good deal for people to get on it. Uh, but it's 4 phones. But here with the car insurance, this is going to be a major thing. And homeowners insurance, most everybody they live somewhere. Unless you're homeless, you have a home, a rental, or you're buying it. And homeowners is going to be a big one. And then everybody on this call has a bank they deal with, some sort of bank they deal with. They got a routing number and a account number, and They deal with that. So these are services that everybody has to have. Not only that, it brings to us volume, because to go to RVP, and you all want to be an RVP, because RVP, you get paid unlimited deaths on the reps and customers that are down there, unlimited. So we all want to get to RVP, but remember, it takes volume to get there, okay? It takes volume. And that's one of the things that the auto insurance, the homeowners insurance, and the banking industry is going to give all those people on this call today that don't have what? Electricity and gas in their states. It's going to give us the volume now. So it's going to get really crazy. And you can't do nothing about electricity and gas. That's up to the state. The state, the people, the senators and the House members of that state to open up that market. And you can't make them do it. So we just got to wait till they open it. But right now, if the state of South Carolina, the state of California, the state of Arizona says if you got a car, you got to have car insurance. It's not a plus or minus. I got a car, but I don't have it insured. You can't do that. You may be walking around here with no insurance on you. That's okay, but you got to have some insurance on that car. Okay, so this is a big product, and millions upon millions of dollars are spent in that industry. That's the industry we're getting into. And I want you to get excited about that, because that's how Mr. Thomas, I knew him well before anybody on this call knew him, okay? I knew him well before anybody on this call knew him. And he got wealthy in a business that everybody had to have something, okay? And so it worked out. So what I want you to do is get excited about that. Instead of talking about him today, we're going to talk about another leader. We got another leader that we're going to talk about. I went in the back office and found he's back there. Like everybody's back there, but I'm going to just pick up one. I want you to listen to this real carefully. And I want you also to start looking for business owners, okay? Business owners tend to get this quicker than everybody else. Now, you're going to get everybody. Show it to everybody. The more eyeballs that hit this, the better off you are. The more eyeballs that hit this, the better off you are, because they're going to know business owners. But business owners pick it up quickly because there's no deliveries, no inventory. We don't have any employees to pay. Business owners get it. Everybody else says so. Business owners get when you don't have employees. They love that. And so the company pays them and they get their check. So what I want you to do is start talking to business owners. So this next video that we got coming up, it's going to be a short one, but it's going to give you a snapshot.
I mean, think about the biggest buildings in America. Here, the biggest buildings in America: insurance companies, yes or no? Banks, telecommunication, energy, healthcare, and we're going to get paid on them all. How many of you like that? Man, just think about the timing that you're in right now. And you heard my brother Mike a little earlier, and getting an opportunity to work this business for 23 years now. It's been a blessing to my family. When we took a look at what you're seeing, our life was radically changed because of a weekend that you're in here today. Some of you here this weekend are going to leave here completely changed as an individual. You are not going to be the same person that you were walking in the doors this weekend. And I know that there's a number of us that struggle to get here. How many of you had to struggle to get here? Plane situations, all kinds of weather challenges. I saw people that flew into different airports. Rick Cordero, regional vice president, he literally flew into another airport and drove some of his team members to be here this weekend. So give yourselves a round of applause for making it here this weekend and being a part of this incredible opportunity. Now, first of which, I want to also take a minute, introduce yourself to your neighbor. Everybody take a minute, introduce yourself to your neighbor, the neighbor you don't know yet. Awesome, awesome. And why do I do that? The reason I do that is these are going to be some lifelong friendships that you're going to have in this room. See, this is such a rare opportunity in life for you to get a chance to be with people that are going in the same direction you're going. How many of us here have friends that we have a common past with, but not a common future with? See, what you're going to find in this opportunity is everybody is not success-minded like you here today. See, when I walked into this room, it wasn't just the opportunity to be able to market services and own a business. It was the opportunity to learn things that I had never learned before. How many of us here love leveraged income? Making money off the efforts of other people. I've never heard of that before. I mean, I must have had the worst teachers in America. I am literally sitting in this presentation and they're talking about residual income. And here's what I knew about the services. My family are going to pay these bills forever. How about yours? And if you and I can get a piece of that and we can make money on that, I mean, it is absolutely incredible. And when you think about the announcements that Tony just gave, I mean, how many of us agree getting started is the hardest part in anything that you do? That first step. And I love the fact that they made the first step a couple services. How many of you love 2 services? Right? 5 points, that first step that can allow someone to get a promotion and be on their way with ACN. And I know all of us are going to take advantage of that in a big, big way. So my job today is just talk about a couple things. Number one, the right mindset you have to have, working on yourself. Look, this is a personal development course with a compensation plan. What you're going to find is that success is an inside job. My mentor said to me, Patrick, what are you reading? And I thought to myself, I made it all through school without reading. And I'm sitting in this presentation, and my mentor said, I do not go to sleep until I cannot turn another page. And I'm thinking to myself, I got to start to read. And I got to start to listen to audios. And I started to have to be around people that were like-minded. See, here's what I found. If you walk into any multi-million-dollar home, here's what you're going to see, a library. Walk into any broke person's home, you're going to see a TV. And the broker they are, the bigger their TV. How many of you ever realized that? How many of you ever walked into someone's house and a lot of commitment there? A lot of commitment. They got a chair in front of it, right? A big TV. See, here's what I'll share with you is you're not like those individuals. You're the person that's working on themselves. Leave here this weekend with a mindset of I'm here to grow. Second thing you want to talk about is investing in you. What you're doing here, I never missed an event. If you're taking notes, write that down. I literally registered for the next event at the event. And here's why. Because I needed to be in this environment. I needed the positivity of this environment. I needed to be around people that could stretch my thinking. And my mentor said, once you're stretched mentally, you'll never go back to your original size. I needed to be inspired. How about you? I needed to hear stories of people that overcame challenges and adversity and dealt with problems and became successful. And that's what you have here, is an environment for people to win. You got to purge the negativity out of your life. How many of us here would agree that there's some people in our lives that I never went back to get? How about you? Right? There's people that I've known all my life. I said, I love you, not enough to be broke with you. And so you're going to find the most important thing that we have to protect is our environment. You've got to create an environment of personal development, a positivity. When you talk about, leaders serve, here's what I'll share with you is the greatest of all is the greatest server of all. And when you think about what we're doing here this weekend, we're helping people, we're serving people. We've got to put the focus on our team and not on ourselves. Anytime somebody has a little challenge recruiting or inviting, here's what I'm thinking to myself, because you're thinking of yourself. See, it's not just about making money, it's about them getting in an environment that they can grow, just like you're doing here this weekend. Look, there's a lot of ways to make money in America. There's very few ways to make residual income. I promise you that. But when you get them in an environment, when you're thinking about their needs and not your needs, here's what I found. If you help enough people win, you're going to win too, by helping people win. Now, here's what I want you to know, is the consistency. The consistency. See, success builds over time. A lot of people get involved in ACN and say, when's it going to happen? It takes time for you to become the leader you need to become to grow into the success that you're going to need to grow. And I think of the story of the bamboo shoot, right? The bamboo tree takes 5 years before it ever breaks ground. Now think about that for a second. You planted it in the ground, and for 5 years you're out there watering it. Now imagine what your neighbors would think if they saw you every day for 5 years. Oh, there goes Ron, right? Watering the ground. Nobody sees anything for the first 5 years. See, what's happening for that first 5 years is that bamboo is growing down the root system that it needs to have to support itself when it starts to grow up. And it takes 5 years. But on that 5th year, it'll grow a foot a day. It'll be at 90 feet in 6 weeks. Could you imagine your neighbors seeing you every single day for 5 years, talking about success, talking about what you were going to do, talking about how committed you are? They saw you out there every single day watering and fertilizing and being there, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it starts growing a foot a day to 90 feet in the air. See, that's our business. Our business is the same way. It takes an internal growing up. It's an inside job. It's a part that you become the person that you need to become to walk the stage and get the accolades and get all the necessary recognition because of the person that you become along the way. Now, what knocks people out of our business? Rejection. You're all going to hear no. Everybody turn to your neighbor and say no. Turn to your other neighbor and say no. We're all going to get some no's. Is anybody dead? Do we need to get the ambulance in here? Do we need to call 911? Now, I've had some people literally get a no and it knocked them completely out of the business. I can't do this, Patrick. My cousin said no. So your dreams are dependent on one person. Imagine telling your children, I could have been somebody. I could have had it all. I could have done it all. But your cousin Rod, he told me no, and I put my dreams back in the closet. Kids, sorry, you're going to have to work the rest of your life, right? Me and your mom are going to have to continue to work, all because someone told us no. We're all going to get no's. That's part of the game. Here's the reality is that once you believe in what you're doing, the no's do not affect you. No's are part of the opportunity. No's are part of the reason why success tastes so good, because you have to go through so much to get it. And none of us are going to apologize for our success, yes or no? Nobody here is going to apologize when they're on this stage and had to do what was necessary to get here, because you were out there doing what other people are unwilling to do. Now, let me talk a little bit about the personalities. See, people don't join a business, they join people they connect with. And I came to this training and they talked about personalities. And I don't know if I was living under a rock. I don't know what was going on. I thought everybody just thought the way I thought. And this speaker came up and he said, I'm going to give them animal names to help you remember the different personalities. Now, some of you probably have already done something similar to this. They call it different names, disc and red, blue, yellow, green. I like the animal names. And when we're working together, our job is to identify what personality is the person that we're talking to. Now, the first personality I'll talk about is the shark. The sharks are competitive. Sharks ask questions like, how much can I make? How fast can I make it? They love to be number one. They love to compete. Now, those individuals are very recognition driven. They want to be out there in front. They love things like, we're going to dominate, right? Those are the type of things that attract a shark. Now, remember, we all have these personalities, but there's always going to be one that's a little more dominant than the other. Second one is the urchin. The urchin is very analytical. Urchin likes details, likes facts. Urchins like to do research. Urchins have things like, let me process the information that you've given me today. Urchins will do more research than you can do. I promise you that. Then you have the dolphins. Don't even need to find out where they are. That's the fun people. Dolphins are great. How many of you here, they're the life of the party. Dolphins like to hear about fun, family, culture, travel. We're going to have a blast. No negative people come. They're like, great, right? Where's the event at? I'm driving. Dolphins are just a lot of fun. They're incredible people to have on your team. And then you have your whales. Your whales are your helpers. Your whales want to hear making a difference. The whales want to hear about the fact that Impact Health is helping millions of future customers that have no health coverage. That we can help those individuals that are walking the streets of our country employed that don't have any health benefits whatsoever. What I love so much about the whale mentality, if you will, is they're great coaches and they're great mentors. Now, just to give you an idea how we're structured as an audience, if you feel that the dominant personality of you here today was a dolphin, could you stand up? if you're a dolphin. Stand up if you're a dolphin. If you feel that's your dominant personality. Now, look around. Yeah, don't worry. Dolphins will clap for themselves. No, you don't have to worry about that. Now look at that. They're dancing. You see, I don't even say anything. They stood right up. Let's give them all a round of applause. Congratulations. Now where's my sharks at? Where's my, yeah. It's funny how all the sharks seem to be like in the front row, right? Congratulations. These guys are just, they want to get it done. They're great, great, great human beings. And where's my whales at? Where's the coaches? Look. Awesome. Awesome. Let's give them a round of applause. And then where's my urchins at? Where are the urchins at? Awesome. Yeah, I can see ya. Now, if you didn't stand up for anything, you're an urchin. Hey, you're still processing. I don't have enough data yet to make that decision of somewhere, right? If you didn't stand up for anything, you're an urchin. Now imagine if you have a whale and you're out there trying to enroll them in what we're doing, and you're saying things like, we are going to dominate. We are going to kill the competition. We are going to be number one. Nobody's left behind. We're going to go out, right? And the whale like, right or wrong? Or you have the urchin, right? They're looking at the IBO agreement online, right? They're reading something. You're like, dude, what are you reading? Sign up. It's $2.99. What are you reading? What's going on with you? Right now, how many of us would agree you're literally chasing people out of your business because you're not connecting with them? Once I understood this, I started to then become the person that I'm communicating with. If I can see you're an urchin, I say things like, look, I know you need more information. I know you need to come to a training. I know you want to really understand what we're doing and how we're doing it, all the information necessary. And so as you start to communicate with them in a way in which they understand. And again, if they're the dolphin, it's, hey, family, fun, culture. We're going to have a blast. They take us on trips every single year. I've been all over the world because of ACN. ACN took us to Sardinia. They took us to Crete. They took us to the Canary Islands. They've taken us to places that I never even knew existed before I got involved in this opportunity. And what was so special is when you're talking to them, how many of you agree now you're talking their language? And you're able to connect and communicate in a way in which they see themselves being a part of your organization. But you have to communicate in a way in which they understand. Now, look, you heard a lot this weekend about that consistency conversation and doing something every day and moving your business forward. And, after the first of the year, right here in Dallas, right, we moved to Dallas. I got Alejandra here. She's going to be training this weekend. We moved here and we had the streets, Jeff and Melissa, they're going to be training. And we said, we're going to start a weekly training, right? We're going to still do Zoom, but we're going to start merging off of Zoom because we want to connect with people. And Janelle Sannon and Courtney Carpenter and a little group of us would meet every week in our living room. Every week in our living room. Every single week. Week after week. And then Adrian came, and he was just a new guy, and Sophie came, and she was brand new. And we started to grow this little group of people here in the local community till we grew to the point where we couldn't meet in the living room anymore. And then we got a little office. And we started doing presentations in the office until the point that we grew out of the office, and then we had to go get a training center. Today in Dallas, we have a training center because a handful of weeks ago, some leaders got together and said, we're going to start to build this market. And we're going to start doing it in a living room with a handful of people. It doesn't matter if you're a senior vice president or you're an executive team leader. We are going to build it right here in our local community. And that's what we did. And those individuals that I just mentioned, their names, have all gone on to become RVP, RD, Platinum RVP, RC, all of them. All of them went on to become successful in what we do today because of that little group that we started here locally. And then Tony Kupas did this amazing tour all over the United States. How many of you here were plugging into Tony and Mike Kupas out there in front saying, hey, we want to create some stuff here together? And so we went into New England, and I had John Daypray. He came to a live event. And John was like, this is great, Patrick. Are you kidding me right now? And so all of a sudden then he started calling some people, and then you got somebody like Jay Borelli, who's here in the front row, having success in what we're doing. And then he got Robbie Wright, and all of a sudden this little group of people in New England, we started to do these live meetings. We were literally driving to people's businesses and restaurants and doing these little live meetings, so we started to grow our core. Why am I sharing that with you? Because that is the secret to success in what we do. You got to plant a flag in your backyard. Every single one of you represent a market somewhere, yes or no? Every single one of you. And every single one of you have to be the person to lead that market right in your local area. And let me tell you the accountability that comes with a local train. You know what the accountability is? Is you get a chance to be with like-minded people. They get a chance to pull the weeds of negativity out of your head, right? You get a fresh start every single week in your local community so that you can start growing something significant. And everything great starts with something small, yes or no? Now, what's going to make this thing all come together? It's belief. Belief in what we do. How many of you here today have more belief now than before you walked into this session here today? How many of you have more excitement now? How many of you have more vision now? How many of you have more commitment now? How many of you are leaving here with a different posture than you walked in here with? That's the kind of belief that it takes in order to build something significant. Now, everything starts with belief. And my life was radically changed because I spent time with people like you. See, we are going to influence the world because of who we are as people. It is our example that people are going to watch, not what we say, not how we say it. It is our example, week to week, month to month, quarter to quarter, eventually year to year, and we're going to fill stadiums. And you here today will look around that room when we're sitting in a stadium with 25,000 people, and you're going to be like, do you remember when we were at the Omni? You'll wear this as a badge of honor that you were here post-COVID for the greatest run this company has ever seen because of those of you that are here today. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Okay, so the lesson that he learned, that he taught, and this is what I want you to understand, with this new products that we got coming out, with electricity, gas, with cell phones. I mean, this is a special company. We're networking services. Now, I'm gonna tell you, everybody in the world knows how special the United States is, but Americans, okay? Everybody in the world knows, they're trying to get here. You know, they're trying to get here because this is a special country. We have the Pacific Ocean on your side, on that side over there, chock full of nuclear submarines. Nobody can bother us. We have the Atlantic Ocean on the other side, chock full of nuclear submarines. Nobody's bothering us. We have a friendly neighbor to the north, sort of, kind of, Canada. We're there, you know, and so we're good. We're a really special nation. Everybody in the world knows that, except Americans. We're fussing about everything under the sun. The coffee's too hot. The coffee's too cold. You know, I don't like the way the air is too cold in here. It was too hot, too cold, whatever. We're complaining. Now, I'll tell you, everybody that looks at this business appreciate it, except the ACN reps. The ACN reps may not appreciate what you got. You could easily not appreciate what you got until it's gone. We lost a mother. Sometimes we didn't appreciate her until she was gone. We lost a father. Probably didn't appreciate him until he was gone. And so that's just our nature. So what I'm telling you now is these next 10 years are going to be really big because everybody has a product that everybody got to have. And it's got a lot of volume in it. It's called auto insurance, homeowners insurance, banking. It's called electricity. It's called gas. So we are about to go through something. Now, there comes these moments in time when network marketing explodes. And it's usually when the economy is doing bad. When the economy is doing good, you could be making $1 million. Somebody will say, so what? I don't know what that's about, but they will, because they got $15 in their pocket. They think they're okay. That $15 will last till Friday. Okay. So I'm okay. I'm good. What I want you to know is that people are going to be looking for you. So could you imagine the people that signed up Mr. Mazur? You can imagine what happened for the people that signed that guy up somewhere in their organization. Can you imagine the people that signed up Al Thomas? Can you imagine the people that signed up all these people? No, the money flows like crazy, and they're going to be looking for us. So let's look for business owners, talk to people that know business owners, join clubs. Let's get around people that are looking for a business. And they are going to be excited to make money when everybody in town pays their car insurance, when everybody in town pays their homeowners insurance, when everybody in town pays their banking bills. They're going to be excited about it. So that's all I have for today. Mr. Thomas, the ball is in your court. Thank you very much.